Is Bubba Wallace serious about getting replaced as a NASCAR driver? That's the question that many racing fans and analysts are asking after his recent comments following a string of poor results. In this video, we'll delve into the controversy, examine the reasons behind Wallace's frustration, and explore the implications of his statement. And what is Michael Jordan's decision on Wallace? Keep tuned in for a more in-depth discussion of NASCAR's biggest topics right now. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button so that you can join our beautiful NASCAR Inside family. Thanks in advance. After Sunday's NASCAR Cup race at Circuit of the Americas, Wallace was interviewed by Fox about his disappointing 37th place finish, which was caused by a crash with Kyle Larson just 11 laps into the race.
Champ out of the race early here.
Oh! Bubba hard into the back. Kyle Larson turns him around really hard.
But it was more than just a disappointing finish for Wallace, it was his third DNF out of first 6 races of the season. Not a good showing at all. Bubba told Jamie Little, "Just trying my best not to go down that slippery slope of self-doubt right here."
The best it had all race. You jack up the pressures and let it eat, and it was good. So we were able to make some hay and get clear. And
Bubba should have stopped there and ended the interview. He didn't. Wallace then said 2 weeks in a row of making rookie mistakes 6 years into the Cup should be replaced.
2 weeks in a row of making rookie mistakes 6 years in the Cup need to be replaced.
Unfortunately, Wallace didn't need to say those last 4 words about himself, or at least the rookie mistakes needed to be fixed, even if it was just a reflection of how frustrated he has been this season as a whole. Even though Wallace had his best Cup season ever in 2022, which was his 5th full-time season, he still finished 19th, which wasn't great in the grand scheme of things. And he once again failed to qualify for NASCAR Cup playoffs. He never made the playoffs. But what Wallace said after the race on Sunday didn't exactly paint a good picture of where he is in the standings right now, 19th, how he feels right now, or where he might be going. To put it simply, he can't talk like he did after the race. Not only does it paint a negative picture, it also serves to maybe add self-doubt among his team members and crew chief Booty Barker. When Wallace obediently said need to be replaced, you have to wonder what team co-owners Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin thought when they first heard those words. Sure, they were thrilled when Tyler Reddick, Wallace's teammate, won his first game for his new team on Sunday, but Bubba being Bubba could end up hurting him and the organisation a lot more than if he thought those 4 words were just frustrations. After Bubba Wallace stated something negative about himself, Steve Lauletta sent him a touching message. Bubba Wallace accepted his mistake and voiced his disappointment after the race. Steve Lauletta, president of 23XI Racing, was there to console him as he recently tweeted the number 23 Moneyline team and Bubba Wallace fight and come back stronger, with everyone's support at 23XI Racing, #forward together, #one team. If Wallace's car had been destroyed during the race, he would have struggled to maintain his confidence and stay there. He gives the image of being a powerful driver, which, considering his history with Larson, may cause a lot of uncertainty among both drivers. If one's actions will have bad implications for them, it is not a wise option to go out of one's way to do harm to another person just for the sake of doing so. Wallace's day did not appear to go as planned. Bubba Wallace even received words of encouragement from his loyal fans too. You should always be ready for the unexpected, and the racetrack is definitely one of those places. With increased expectations, the stakes rise significantly. Although this was a disappointing turn of affairs for Bubba Wallace, his ardent followers are ready to defend their idol driver. Here's what one fan said on Twitter: "I love Bubba. I wish he wasn't so harsh on himself, but I understand with the BS internet trolls from being expected to win and out. It's the start of the season, but I believe Bubba will recover and win. Every one of Bubba's ardent fans adores and respects him." Another Wallace fan revealed a private secret about the number 23 driver has rekindled the interest in NASCAR. They showed their support for the team by cheering Tyler Reddick after Bubba was removed from the competition due to a spin. The disappointment of fans was exacerbated by the fact that Bubba was widely regarded as the favourite to win the trophy. It was mentioned in the comment section that his love for his squad was more important than his personal accomplishments.
Wallace had moved to that top line to get from behind the 14, who he said was unsteady. Well, once he moved to the top line, he got hit into the fence.
About a week ago on March 19th, rumours began to spread in Charlotte and the rest of the NBA that Jordan might want to sell a lot of his majority stake in the basketball team Hornets. Jordan, who is 60, yes, it's hard to believe he's that old, may be thinking about retiring early so he can spend more time with his 3 grown children. He isn't as important to the Hornets as they are to him. Even now, he is still making a lot of money from the $1 billion plus deal he has with Nike for the rest of his life for his Air Jordan brand. Jordan is fine without the Hornets, and that makes me wonder something that, as far as I know, no one has ever asked before. So we're going to ask it. If Jordan really wants to sell his large stake in the Hornets, could he also be looking to sell his stake in 23XI Racing? That's not something that can happen. When Jordan and Hamlin joined forces to form 23XI in 2021, it was seen as a big step forward for team ownership. It had all the signs of DEI, which is one of the most famous phrases in pro sports. No, I'm not talking about Dale Earnhardt Incorporated from the past, instead I'm talking about diversity, equality and inclusion. As a black man, Jordan becoming a powerful co-owner of what's hoped to become a powerhouse NASCAR Cup organisation was a big deal and a good thing in a sport and series that needed more diversity and inclusion badly. And because they were smart, Jordan and Hamlin chose Wallace to be the leader of the group they would build around, along with veteran driver Kurt Busch, who would help Wallace learn the ropes. But now that the Hornets might have a for sale sign on their front door, and if Jordan is also looking to sell his share of 23XI, that could leave Bubba without a job and a ride, especially if he keeps putting himself down as he did after Saturday's race. Don't get us wrong, we like Bubba a lot. We think he's good at the sport and that the sport's good for him. If the day comes where Jordan and Hamlin, or Hamlin and somebody else if Jordan does sell his half of 23XI, which would likely bring about the need for a name change at the very least, decide they need to make some changes, Bubba and his attitude would likely be the first to be looked at. Reddick has no plans to leave. He is one of the most promising young stars in the Cup game. Since 23XI was able to get Reddick away from Richard Childless Racing a year earlier than expected, and Kyle Busch was available after Joe Gibbs Racing decided to let him go. Reddick is definitely the future of 23XI. Bubba's future? After what he said on Sunday, he might have taken care of that on his own. Remember that words mean something and can hurt, both other people and yourself. As we've already said, we really like Bubba and we'd love nothing more than him to make up for what happened and win the race at Richmond next Sunday. It seems unlikely since Bubba's best finishes at the little 750-mile bullring in 9 Cup races so far have been 12th and 13th, and 7 of his finishes have been 25th or worst. Jordan is a champion because he guided the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA titles during his time as head coach. Even though he likes Bubba, Jordan won't put up with someone who doesn't believe in himself. What do you think? Will Michael Jordan replace Bubba Wallace after what he said? And what will the next race bring for him? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more NASCAR updates.